القمة العالمية للحكومات، حيث تلتقي العقول وتتولد الأفكار ويستشرف المستقبل.
Throughout history, our greatest turning points began not with action, but with powerful words.
As long as you live another day, you have an opportunity to create.
A single line can be a command.
In a world in which everything is global, we need global responses.
A sentence can form an opinion.
To me, development delayed is development denied, and we have to change this.
And the right speech can shift the course of history.
If we fail to act now, we will see a climate crisis that is unimaginable.
But one voice on its own can only go so far.
We're going through a time warp. It's going to be shockingly different.
These are challenges too complex for any nation to face alone.
Shift to artificial intelligence is going to be like a tsunami hitting the labor market.
They demand a platform where leaders, experts, and thinkers can confront the world's toughest questions together.
I'm an optimist by nature, and if you're not optimistic and passionate, you'll not get anything done.
Welcome to the World Government Summit, where voices meet, where ideas are exchanged, and the future is reimagined.
We're going through a time warp. It's going to be shockingly different.
If we get into a new Cold War, do countries have to choose which side they are?
In a world in which everything is global, we need global responses.
I'm an optimist by nature, and if you're not optimistic and passionate, you'll not get anything done.
Everyone is going to use public clouds, and public clouds, by and large, come from two nations. I believe it's an and every nation is going to have to run their own infrastructure in a way that's independent of control from any other country. So the question here is control, not so much where it comes from. Sovereign core gives that control to a country that wants to run that stack in a way that nobody else can turn it off, can mismanage it, can steal data from it, can apply the wrong security to it, and so we want to leverage it. I would say, just building on the point that both Mike and Buri just made, we believe that trust gives us a license to operate. Without trust, none of our enterprise or government clients around the globe would accept using technology from us.
Buri, everyone in this room is a leader. Everyone here is an innovator. That's why you're here. A place that Ericsson is leading is 6G. And Ericsson is big on the next wave of mobile. Give us a sneak peek about 6G and what it will mean for our world.
Yeah, first of all, I think it's fair to say that we need to first build out 5G. And actually 5G standalone, because that will provide the starting point for 6G. And to be honest, there are very few countries around the world with actually a solid built-out 5G standalone. UAE happened to be one with a very robust SA network. You have it in a couple of other countries, China, the US, India, etc., but very few others. That's the foundation. But then what will happen with 6G is that it will be fully intent-based. So we will start to look at each application and decide what type of connectivity will it need. So if you have, for example, augmented reality glasses, it will decide I need low latency and I need a high uplink. And the network will respond to that. So it will be fully AI native and AI controlled network. So it's really where we can start to talk about everything being connected. That is what's going to happen with 6G. So it will be a very strategic asset to think about and be involved in. So all governments needs actually to start thinking already now on spectrum to make sure that you free up the spectrum that's going to be needed for 6G. So don't wait, get involved and get engaged.
Arvind, while we're on frontier technologies, you personally and IBM has been a leader in quantum technology. I'm going to ask you the world's shortest question. Science fiction, question mark, and when?
Engineering, no longer science fiction, 2 to 3 years from now. So that takes you to 2029 for the world's first, I wouldn't say the ultimate, the first quantum computers that will give you incredible commercial advantages.
And what are some examples of those advantages that our guests will relate to?
I think there's 3 use cases that will be within scope of the first quantum computers and then more later. First is in the world of materials. Design better lubricants, design better anti-corrosive coatings, design small molecules that could help in pharmaceuticals, maybe to penetrate the blood-brain barrier. So that gives you a sense on the first. So it's in the world of materials, because that is what quantum does down below. It does quantum chemistry. Second is in the world of finance. Better risk models, more real-time risk models, not depending on a week-old or a month-old simulations that have been done. And the third is going to be in the world of optimization, meaning can we design better routes? Could we help save a post office 5% of its fuel budget? Could we help cut down in logistics on the 30% of empty truck miles and empty containers that are there? Not fully, but a 5% savings is massive in terms of the global economy.
Börje, a term that Ericsson uses that was exciting to me is limitless connectivity. Do tell.
We think of the future world, everything will literally be connected. Everything that can be connected will be connected. And not only that, we will start to add connectivity. So think about future AI models will rely on more sensor data. We'll have sensors everywhere. And when you start to put that together, you need a full connectivity fabric. And that's what we call limitless connectivity.
Backstage, we had a conversation about domain-specific models. Tell us your belief about where the AI conversation and advantage competition will be going.
I'll begin with the word and. Large models are going to be very useful, and small models are going to do the majority of the work. Within small models, you're going to need domain-specific models. What do we mean by domain-specific? Models that may help model a given physical plant, models that will help do chemistry, models that will take advantage of knowledge that is baked into what they learn, as opposed to all contradictory information. So the moment you enter, especially a physical world, the model needs to understand and be based around a model of the physical world. In the end, I think there'll be a half dozen very large models, and they serve a big purpose, especially in the consumer world, and there's going to be hundreds, maybe thousands of small models that help provide a huge value to different enterprises.
Börje, our last question, and then actually this always ends with one fun thing, but our last question is, you are very bullish, you and I got to visit yesterday on humanoid robots. And you said there could well be a humanoid robot behind a reception desk. Tell us where you think that technology is and is going.
I think we're already starting to see humanoids. Of course, it's going to be very hard to replicate the picking motion, and I hear everyone telling me the humans are so much better at picking things up. True, but there are a lot of tasks we do that doesn't involve picking things up. So think about standing behind the reception desk to do a check-in, or it could be, a tour guide, it could be somebody working at the bank. All of these applications are actually use cases for humanoids, and I think we like to see a humanoid that's actually human-like. So when we start that journey, I think we will start to see those coming at scale, in 12 to 18 months. And when that happens, then I think we'll wake up.
We're getting the hook, a very subtle red timeout here. So as we say goodbye, Arvind, you love cars and you once drove 145 miles an hour. Tell us about that.
On a Porsche racetrack in a 911 and on the final straight, which is about a quarter mile, that is when you test your own nerves.
We thank His Excellency, the World Governments Summit, this great audience, our panelists, and I'll see you on Axios.com. Thanks for having us.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next session is a conversation with His Excellency Alar Karis, President of the Republic of Estonia. This session is moderated by Becky Anderson from CNN.